All right now. Good evening, good evening. Yeah, it's evening time over here where I'm at, man. Up here, Terrace Stadium, getting it in. I came planning on walking around the track on the stadium, but apparently they got a game going on tonight. So I said, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and walk the parking lot. You know what I mean? So glorious evening, sunset. So out here, watch the sunset before I got my steps in. You know, got a subject for y'all. First of all, how y'all doing out there? I'm doing spectacular. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm outstanding. Always standing out. Yep, outstanding. Salute to everybody that's about their business. On a positive note, you know, the positive people that's about their business. Because you could be about your business and be on some negativity. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't even talking to them, so they don't even matter. I'm talking about those that's really getting. You know what I'm saying? You see my new dynastic era tee. You know what I'm saying? For those who do know, and those that don't know, that's my carpentry company, new dynastic era. Been doing so much other stuff that I ain't really been, you know, doing my new dynastic era stuff, and it's okay. I'm always doing it, you know, even if it ain't business purposes. I help out family and do things around the house. When I say family, I'm talking mainly about, you know what I'm saying, immediate fam. Anybody else is cool, but that's all I've been doing lately. But anyway, my subject tonight, you know what I'm saying? I don't talk politics much, but let's talk politics tonight. Okay, before I was interrupted. Yeah, we're gonna talk politics tonight. And I don't do that much because everybody has their own stand on politics, and politics can and will cause conflicts and confusion amongst friends, family, loved ones, just because of your political views and your quote unquote political party that you choose to follow and or associate yourself with. So for those that's really paying attention, I must tell you that political parties, and we know here in the United States of America, we have two political parties, two main political parties. We do have an independent party, but the two main political parties are Democrat and Republican. Those are the two main political parties here in the United States of America: Democratic Party and the Republican Party. So let me explain something about those two parties. All right, Democratic Party and political party are both for politicians. All political parties are for politicians. They're not for the voting citizens of this country to gain, better choice of words. They're not for you to choose a party and give all your loyalty to it like it's your favorite sports team. It's not a sports team, or a division. It's not a sports division. It's not the NFC, AFC. It's not the East Coast Conference. It's not the West Coast Conference. It is mainly for politicians. As a voting citizen, you are not supposed to give your allegiance to either party, because in doing that, you saying, I got my party's back no matter if they right or wrong. It's saying that I don't care what my person that I'm voting for feels about me or the things that I take dearly into heart. No, it's not about that. For the voters of this country, we supposed to only be voting for whichever candidate holds our best interest in heart, no matter what team they play for. They could be Democrat or Republican. And you don't just say, hey man, I'm just gonna go into the booth and mark down all the Democrats I can. Any Democrat on the ballot, you got my vote. No, that ain't how it go. Because then, with the powers that be, knowing that that's exactly what you're going to do, and that's exactly how you're going to vote, they're going to go ahead and slip some bullshit in there on you. Because you're not going to pay attention to what these candidates about. You're not going to pay attention to what they doing or what they have done for you, your community, your family, friends, loved ones, for your state, county, even country. You know, they just going to say, well, this jigaboo is going to vote Democrat all the way down. So we got them. We got them. No, you're supposed to pay attention if you're going to vote. You know, see, that was the danger in having everybody vote. Not saying that everybody shouldn't be allowed to vote. I truly think that all citizens should take some kind of political science classes, political science classes, before you actually have a chance to vote. I mean, you have to take these tests in order to be able to drive, which is great. It's great. It's a good thing. You should be able to take a test to be able to vote, because we have people out here recklessly voting, and then we get somebody in office just because of the party that they represent. Dangerous. Very dangerous. You should really pay attention and make sure that whoever you vote for has your best interest in heart and in mind. You know, your best interest. And hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. Accountability means a lot when it comes to who's speaking for you, who's sitting down in these big meetings, you know, basically planning your future out. They're planning your future whether you like it or not. Yeah, they're planning your future. And a lot of times, I'm talking to everybody, but black people, when I say we and us, we seem to, a lot of times, in these major cities, not all of us, some of us do our due diligence, but the majority will say, I don't care who he is or who she is, long as she Democrat, I'm with them. And, you know, they give us that D, literally, they give us that D, you know, and then we voting for skin. We voting for skin. Come on now. Do you think the powers that be, not knowing that As long as you give them someone that reminds them of themselves, they're going to, bow to that. I mean, hey, look at Abomination. He got me the first time. I ain't gonna front, cause I was tap dancing and everything. Well, we got a brother in the office. We got a brother in the office. I paid attention after that closely. And mind you, I was taking political science classes during his first election. So I wasn't fully aware of the political process. And I wasn't even thinking about holding anybody accountable. I was one that said, shit, we done won the world. We got a brother and y'all can't do nothing to us. Not knowing that this quote unquote brother was not even working for us. His main agenda was the rainbow. That was his main agenda when it comes to black America. It wasn't his main agenda, because his main agenda, first of all, was to, his allegiance was to the Democratic Party and to their agenda. And guess what, black America? We wasn't on their agenda. Not in the way that we think. When they speak of depopulation, we were definitely on their agenda, but not as in. I mean, it's not about. This is not all about reparations, but reparations wasn't on their agenda. Enhancing and advancing the quality of life for black America in major cities definitely was not on their advice, on their agenda. As y'all can see throughout the country, how the majority of the quote unquote black community, and I'm gonna say quote unquote because we don't have black communities anymore, they were not on the agenda. And I'm explaining the reason why we don't have black community. Yeah, we got a whole lot of black neighborhoods with, let me rephrase that, because we don't have black neighborhoods either. We have a whole lot of neighborhoods where black Americans are the majority, but if that grocery store is not owned by black people, that's not your community. If not ran, but owned. If that gas station is not owned by black Americans, that's not your community. If that pharmacy is not owned by black Americans, that's not your community. If those doctors' offices and clinics are not owned by black Americans, that's not your community. If those schools are not, if the education system in that community is not regulated and if the heads are not black Americans, I mean, sure, it looks as if though they are, but all the what's the word I'm looking for? Y'all know the word I'm looking for. If what they're teaching is the same as all the rest of the school systems here in America, it's not your community. Y'all, no matter how many black faces they put in front of you, these are not, this is not our system. So, anyway, enough about that. That's another subject. And I'm sure that some of you may agree or may not. That's fine. I only deal with facts. So, you couldn't get me to see this 20 years ago. You couldn't get me to see anything about politics 20 years ago, because I thought that the Democratic Party was a black party. It's not. Don't get me wrong, Republican Party is not a black party either. Neither are black parties. We don't have a black political party in America. So don't misquote me on that. But hear me when I say that you always have to pay attention to who is actually making improvements in the community in which you live. And when I say improvements, who's putting the money there? Who's putting the money in your hands, in your pocket? No, you're not going to see your politicians out there cleaning up. No, you're not going to see your politicians out there doing giveaways or what the fuck ever you trying to see from these political parties. You ain't finna see none of that from none of them. If you do, best believe there's an agenda behind that too. But who's actually putting resources and funds into your community? Who's actually looking out for the people of your community, even the people that's been wronged? You know, someone that's willing to look into some cases, someone that's willing to, you know, actually give you the money and let you have the power. Not someone that's gonna say, okay, we're gonna put a program in your neighborhood, but we're gonna oversee the program. No, we don't need that. Too many overseers. We done had overseers for as they say, a few hundred years now. It's time for us to vote for the power for you and your community, not the power to keep giving them the power, because that's all we did. That's all we did. We accepted the responsibility to give them the power. Okay. So, y'all done walked with me for maybe about 2 miles now. So, we're gonna go ahead and end this so I can finish getting it in and get to the house. So, man, it's been real. And please pay attention. Pay attention, man. Don't just go in there and take the D all the way down the ballots when they come. Because they know you want the D. They know you want the D. You wasn't born Democrat. You wasn't born Republican. You was born a man or a woman. You was born a child of God even. So don't just take the D. Please pay attention to what you're doing. You know, after you do your due diligence on both parties, both candidates, or all the candidates, do your due diligence on everybody. Then, only then, go cast your ballots. But if you don't do your due diligence and you just going down D, you fucking us all. Peace and prosperity.